Hey y'all, and welcome to today's Bold and Beautiful Chat. Today was a really good show. I felt like lots of excitement and things moving forward with the different situations on the show. And it started out with Katie in the office with Ivy, and she's pacing back and forth because Quinn has taken her designs to Eric and Ridge to look at and to decide what, if anything, will be used in the collection. And Katie said told Ivy she found her way at Forrester. Eric really dislikes Katie's designs, and he says he understands now why Quinn didn't want to use any of them. He said she belongs in a boardroom and not designing. And Nicole is thinking about her diagnosis. She called Maya, and Maya was on a photo shoot, and Rick answered her phone and told her that. And Nicole acted very put off by it that Maya was on the photo shoot, and she talked short and had an attitude to Rick. And she demanded to Rick that she be the one that watches Lizzie when they need a babysitter, and not to be getting other people to watch the baby. She said she's the one that birthed Lizzie and should be the one to watch her. Pam comes into the office, and she has a gun belt. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but a gun belt around her waist. And I believe it was Katie asked her, was she part of security now? And she said no, that Charlie had gone somewhere to do something and had left his gun belt with the gun in it on her desk, so she put it on because she said it shouldn't be laying around. So Quinn wanted her to try on one of her chain belts, so Pam took the gun belt off and laid it down. And Pam did not like the chain belt and took it off because she had to go. It was her turn to watch Lizzie. And so when Pam left, she forgot to get the gun and the belt back. Eric wants to fire Katie. He says there's no openings in the boardroom, no reason to try to keep her in design since she's no good at it, and that she wouldn't want them to create a position for her. And Eric wants Quinn to fire her, and she's just no use to the company. Rich was going to go with Rich was going to go with Quinn to tell Katie, but Eric said no. And during the next little while, Rich said a couple times he ought to just go check and make sure everything's going okay as far as firing Katie goes. And Eric kept saying no, he didn't want Katie to feel like she was being ganged up on. And he finally said, do you know something I don't know? Rick tells Maya when she comes in about Nicole's phone call. Rick said Nicole sounded like she was questioning them as parents and told Maya about her attitude and all that. Nicole is talking to Coco about watching Lizzie. She feels like she's the only one that should be watching Lizzie. Quinn came back to her office and asked Ivy to leave, that she needed to talk to Katie. Quinn said to, Katie said to Quinn, she asked about how many designs would be used and would it be in the next campaign and all this, and Quinn said no designs would be used. She tried to explain to Katie that she is more of an executive than a designer, and Katie wanted to know if they were changing her position, and Quinn said no, we're letting you go. And then Maya is upset. Nicole said she would rather chase fame than be a mom. And Maya said she's a working mother just like millions of other working mothers, and that Nicole's probably just upset about her medical condition, and that she will take care of the situation with Nicole when she gets home. And Pam came to get Lizzie to watch her, and Nicole wouldn't let her, and she sent Pam away. And then Katie is very upset that she's being fired. Katie thinks Quinn is firing her and doing this, not Eric. She said Eric would never do this. Katie is having a meltdown, and she's talking very, very loud. She's crying. She's shaking. She's doing a real good job with this part right now. Katie said she loses every time. Katie said Quinn ruins everything. And I really think Katie wants Eric desperately bad, and that's a lot of what she's talking about. Rick wants to call Nicole back, but Maya said no. And like I said, she'll smooth things over when she gets back. And then it shows Nicole holding Lizzie and kind of talking to her. And then Nicole starts calling herself Mama to Lizzie. And Rich keeps saying he needs to go to Quinn's office to make sure everything is okay. And once again, Eric said no. Quinn offers to find Katie another job, but Katie refuses, and she's still just out of control. And Katie starts getting aggressive with Quinn, and she starts touching her and pushing her and stuff like that. And Quinn turns around and pushes Katie off of her, and when she pushes her back, she pushes her into the chair that the gun's lying in. And then Quinn turns around to walk over to her desk, and Katie grabs the gun and points it at Quinn, and then Quinn turns around and sees it, and Quinn is very terrified and scared and telling her no, put the gun down and all this. And Katie says that she ought to just get rid of Quinn. Katie is jealous. I mean, she doesn't say she's jealous, but you can tell she's jealous. She said Quinn has a beautiful home and a great husband, and that Quinn has no morals, and Quinn always gets what she doesn't deserve, and she just goes on crying and upset and all that. And that's where the show ended today, with Katie holding the gun on Quinn. And maybe Ridge will walk in. He'll disobey his dad, and he'll walk in, and maybe he'll get shot. Who knows? It's hard to tell. But I can't wait till tomorrow to see what happens. And I thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.